Hey guys, it's Sean from LandNet. And I wanted to go over a post that I recently made, and it looked like it struck a nerve. So I wanted to go over it and maybe also explain exactly like the step-by-step process that you can use to get the freshest deals like right now. Um, I'm just giving it away. I don't really care. I know that if I add value here, you guys are going to want to hire me because setting it up is not really that easy. So you might need some help with that. So I'll just lay it all out. Um, so basically, we went over this post here, and funders don't care about you. Here's why: they're like backdooring you nowadays and everything like that. If you remember, like when you first got into the industry, you had a lot of deals coming in and everything like that, and then like you're sending them deals and they value you, but now they don't. They're just like backdooring you. They don't give a shit. They'll block your deals and then they'll kill your deals at the end of the thing, like right in underwriting, as they're like, they'll just kill your deal, even if there's like a really good deal, like a small blemish will just kill the deal, right? So this is a problem, right? Because they seem to not need ISOs as urgently anymore. And it could also be due to ISOs having like a bunch of bad apples that are like stacking merchants and stuff like that. So what you need to do is you need to bring them quality deals. If you bring them quality deals as an ISO, they will differentiate you and see the relationship as valuable, okay? In order to do that, you need to approach things in a certain way. Um, so this is also very similar, by the way, to like how Uber is replacing drivers with like self-driving cars, or corporations like replacing humans with AI and everything like that, like with the employees being replaced by AI. So they're just taking what you built and like moving on, and the top funders right now aren't even accepting new ISOs because most of them are like new ones, they just submit crap files. I'm going to show you how to stop submitting crap files. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get good deals coming in. And we're going to go into some deep strategy here. Um, okay, so let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is let's take a look at a real funder, like a real big guy, running ads right now. Okay, let's go to Facebook ads library. Okay, ads library. You can actually see ads that are being run by businesses for whatever you want. Like they're pretty much completely um, they're pretty much completely exposed. You can see everything, everyone's ads. Okay, so financial products and services. You can run, let's say, capital advance, or I don't know, something generic. What are we seeing here? Okay, so let's see. Um, look at this. Look at this. Nationwide Advance is running ads here. They're currently active, and they're running ads saying cash flow tight. We help businesses secure funding with clear payment terms from $50,000 to $250,000. Get what you need when you need it. Apply now. Okay, so do you see something like all these different ads always have the same generic thing going on? It's always, hey, do you need money? We offer money. That's it. There's no differentiator. All financial companies that are doing MCA, they say the same thing in their ads. And if you go to their websites, they're generic as well. Let's go to a generic website. Let's just go search uh, business cash advance, because that's what they're calling it these days. So business cash advance. All right. Um, okay, National Business Capital. All right, here's another one. Okay, so National Business Capital. I don't know, just like if you're watching this video, don't come at me. But National Business Capital, like you can see their website is very generic. There's nothing like differentiating them. Um, and so this is what all MCA people or anyone in finance is basically doing. They don't know how to differentiate. And the reason they are getting crappy files is that they don't know how to differentiate. Okay, so what they're doing is they just have these cookie cutter websites, cookie cutter pitches that they tell all the merchants the same thing. Hey, we can get you MCA, we can get you quick money fast, but they're not focused on solving problems. Okay, they're not focused on the specific person and solving their problem. And so the problem with a generic brand is that it's hard to stand out. Okay, the key to standing out now, here's the thing: in a saturated industry like MCA, you need to stand out, or you're gonna get crappy files, and your funders are gonna treat you like garbage, which they are. They're backdooring you. Your merchants are gonna treat you like garbage because they will agree to the backdoor. They'll just go to the lender directly because you're just a generic guy. When you do generic things, you get treated like shit, and people backdoor you, and people pay you very little or almost nothing. Take me for example. Take my website for an example. Let's take a look at my website. All right, lendnet.io. All right, what the hell is this? Okay. Might need to fix that error later. Alright, so you can see that my website is very specific to a specific problem. Now let's look at my competitors, okay? This is very specific. I'm targeting only ISOs and lenders. Maybe I'll scratch that out. Maybe only ISOs now because lenders usually don't need help with this. But I'm only targeting ISOs, right? And I'm helping them get more fresh inbound leads, okay? Building automated inbound lead gen systems. Now, I'm speaking in their language as well. I'm able to speak in their language. They don't really care when you say digital marketing. They speak about leads in a way that they're saying like inbound leads. They don't call it digital marketing. They call it inbound leads, right? So I'm speaking in their language. Now, why is this good? Because by niching down, I've been able to um, really differentiate myself in the digital marketing space. So I'm specifically able to tailor my approach to those guys, to you guys, right? Let's go to Google and search for like digital marketing and stuff like that, help with leads or something like that. Let's say even just like financial leads. Let's say financial leads. Okay, what do you have? What do you got here? This is financial advisor lead generation. Da 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 da. Qualified lead gen. So these guys are focusing on specific, but let's say like digital marketing agency or something like that. Let's just say something, we're trying to look for like a digital marketing agency to hire, right? So this is like a marketing agency here. They're just generic, okay? They are generic, and if this agency tried to come over and pitch you or something, you would probably look at their website and you would say, well, these guys are just like generalists or something. You know, they're not really like focused on what I need and what I need, right? So you would just like, you just ignore them if they sent you a message on email or something. This is very similar to what you need to be doing when it comes to your own website, your own business, and everything like that. Um, you need to niche down. Okay, you need to um, a generic brand. It's like hard to stand out. Okay, so you need to niche down, and generic service offering is like, okay, we're just all only offering this. We're offering this. Like we're offering like cash advance. We're offering cash advance, and it's a generic service offering. Like it's not like cash advance. You're offering like funding for the business. That's it's not cash advance you're offering. You're offering like money. Okay, so you're commoditizing yourself as well, right there. And when you commoditize yourself, you get treated like shit um, because you know you're screaming at everyone. Everyone, you're not like pointing to a specific person and trying to help them. So when you scream at everyone and you're like, you know, my dad always used to say that a jack of all trades is a master of none. So that is very true in business. Um, if you're trying to be a jack of all trades, you're a master of none in the eyes of your audience. And what that means is that when a merchant is coming to your website and they're looking at your website and they're looking at you, and you say, we do everything, we'll give you funding, we'll get you money, don't worry about it, and we we fund all sorts of businesses, everything, we fund everyone, we help everyone with everything. It doesn't. They're just gonna glance. They're just gonna like their eyes are gonna glaze over, and they're gonna see that you're just a schmuck broker. Okay, that's what they see. Now, to avoid that, you go in and you go niche, really niche. All right. So, um, another thing, yeah, cookie cutter website, low credibility, low trust. All right, low credibility and low trust. They don't really care. Every guy is doing it. Every guy is giving you money for anything, for any business. Don't do that. Um, the key concept here is to niche down and define it briefly. I will define it briefly here. It's focusing on a very specific audience that has specific problems in their business, right? So you, as a consultant, as a financial consultant, need to go in and you need to target a specific niche or audience that has specific problems. So I'm trying to think of how to explain this to you. Basically, if you are trying to like, let's say you're trying to only help like medical businesses or something like that. Since you're now pitching, since you've now picked a niche, you can now address their problems specifically. And what that means is also that you're going to have lower ad costs. The cost of advertising to them is going to be a lot lower because when you try to advertise on like ad platforms, when you try to say, hey, you know, we we offer funding for all types of businesses and we can do everything. Okay, when you say that, you're competing with big funders and lenders in the advertising auction. The auction is where they bid up the price, you know, and these funders and lenders, they are um, they are funded by venture capitalists. They're funded by big investors with deep pockets. They can afford to spend how much they need to acquire deals. So you cannot compete with them in the advertising auction. In saturated markets, what you do is you go and you niche down, okay? You niche down and you target a specific industry or niche and you try to solve their problem with the money that you're offering. The money will be the key, and you're going to tie that to the problem that they have. And you should understand their problems really well because you've been talking on the phone with these people for a long time, right? And there are certain industries that also have um are very clean, like clean files. They are not mismanaging their money. You know, they're not taking a bunch of MCAs and stacked. There are certain industries in this space that are good to go after, that have clean files, right? So those are the ones you want to go after. And we know because we've been testing them all the time on advertising platforms. So we know who to target. We also have lists of these merchants so that we can create lookalike audiences, right? So we can do these things. But the key is focusing on a very specific niche market and solving their problems. Okay, if you try to target everyone, you know, everyone has different problems. You can't, like, you're not speaking to anyone. Okay, so they're just gonna ignore you, and you're not gonna get good quality leads. You're gonna get stacked crap, and you're gonna get low ROI. You're gonna spend a lot of money on ads, leads, and you're gonna make very little money. By niching down, you're going to spend very little money on advertising, and you're gonna make a lot of profit. So your ROI is gonna be huge. Your spend is little. So it's a completely different opposite thing. All right. So what else we were gonna discuss? Um, yeah. So why it matters is that it lowers the ad costs. It improves targeting. And it avoids the financial ad flags. So, for example, people who are generic are now being limited in the ad platforms. Okay, so in the past, you could go out and just blast out generic ads and be profitable. That's not the case anymore. You have to be more niche now. Okay, so and since you're being niche, you can basically use um, you can use like different language to run the ads. If you're using language that triggers flags, like for example you're offering merchant cash advance or you're offering like funding for their business, this language is going to trigger flags in the ad platform, and you're going to get banned, or you're going to get really high ad costs. Your CPMs are going to go up, and CPM is like 1,000 people. How much money does it cost to show your ads to 1,000 people? That's like CPM. And your ad costs, your lead costs are gonna go through the roof, and you're not gonna be able to do anything with that. So this is why instead of saying like, do you need funding for your Medicare business, you could say something like, is payroll a problem right now for your Medicare business? That's all you say. You don't mention funding. You don't mention any of that. And we've figured out a way to like avoid financial language in our ads and still get high quality leads with clean files. Okay, so that's the key. And then um, what else? What else here? Um, the the benefits of niching down. You have lower ad costs. You don't pay to reach everyone, just the right people. You avoid ad flags, no complicated financial jargon, cheaper, higher quality leads. Okay, so, and you're speaking directly to the client's pain points. If you know the industry, you can target real merchant problems. Um, yeah, so high quality merchants respond and you avoid stacked deals. Okay, now use yourself as an example. I'm going to use myself as an example. I help financial consultants, which is ISOs, get funding for business owners, right? Um, Now contrast that with like generic digital marketing. We already discussed this. Like I would be ignored and I would just blend in and I wouldn't no one would listen to me, right? So I'm not doing that. I'm only targeting you guys because I know I can help. I actually worked in the industry and I understand your pains and problems, so I can really dig down and help you guys with this problem. Since I've already also really, like, for the last like 10 years also dug into digital marketing and this other stuff. It's a completely different thing. Like, I can use my expertise to help that specific niche, right? So this is what you want to do with your clients as well. Now, tailored solution. Um, you have a tailored solution basically when you're reaching out to specific clients. You're solving a specific pain, and it builds trust and authority. And you're not going to be disrespected. You're going to be respected in that sense because you're not just a generic guy from a generic corporation calling them. Okay, you are, a Medicare or medical establishment financial consultant or something like that, right? You're doing that. Um, Now, here's another advanced tip here. Using data with a niche, you can use lookalike audiences. The algorithm is going to find clients like your list. Okay, so we can we have data from like 2018 to like up until now. We've been doing advertising platform and we've been generating leads. So what we can do is that we can solve that problem of like having data to plug into the algorithm so that we can get the lookalike audiences. So we'll be able to use our proprietary data to then go and create the lookalike audience. And that is key because then you can get really, really cheap quality deals and then your ROI is through the roof, right? So that's important. And you cannot use lookalike audiences if you are a generic brand right now in MCA. So if you're just like doing everything for everyone, everyone's your customer, you're not, it's not going to work because lookalike audiences are only available to companies that are not using financial jargon, financial language, and the only way to do that is that if you niche down and you target specific pains and problems for the client that you're helping. Okay, so this is the key. And what else? Uh, LendNet has years of data since 2018. So I've been doing this since 2018. I've been running ads. I've been getting quality leads and everything. Um, helps We help to create high quality lookalikes. Okay. Um, and I want to emphasize we don't sell the data because selling doesn't bring in fresh, high quality merchants. Selling data does not bring in high quality merchants. It doesn't. So we don't sell data. Um, and it just like ruins the space. It ruins the space. It brings in garbage. It just ruins everything. You know, these people who sell you data are not doing you a favor. Okay, so now the outro, the final conclusion here. I just want to wrap things up here. Stop blending in, find your niche, speak directly to their pains, and you'll get better leads at lower costs. So, stop trying to be a generic financial consultant. You are a consultant, you're trying to help the business owner get money, right? But you don't want to blend in like everyone else. You want to niche down and be specific to their problems. And that way you're going to be able to avoid being treated like crap. You don't want to be backdoored. You're going to avoid being treated like crap by both the merchant and the lender. So the lender is going to backdoor you if you're a crappy ISO shop that's generic and bland. The merchant's going to backdoor you if if you're a crappy consultant, generic, whatever brand. And you know, you're going to get paid less and almost nothing because you're going to get stacked files, crap stacked files of merchants who are used to just borrowing from anyone and everyone. Okay. If you want to do business like that, keep going and doing what you're doing. You'll find out quickly that you're not going to get anywhere. But if you want to, and you can do this on your own as well. I've given you the blueprint basically right here because this is what we do. But you probably don't have the years of experience needed to do this, and you don't have the data from hundreds of thousands of dollars where we've ran on ad platforms where we have the data to build lookalike audiences and target all these people. So that's another advantage that we have. And then I mean, there's just the experience. So I have experience with running like niche ads, right? So I've been doing this long time. Niche ads, I'm very good with that. So, you can either go and learn to do it yourself, or you can hire us, and we could actually start immediately bringing in results. I will show you actually a little, um, I will show you on our proof of results page um, that we did get clients results, and you can see actually in a voice note a client sent me here. So this client had said, this is an actual voice note in our WhatsApp group conversation when we were working with this client.
I only ask Sean because when we've had other marketing guys.
So wait 1 second. Um, this guy says, hang on 1 second. Maybe I can like, um, you're gonna have to go to this website because my audio is like this. 1 second actually. I think I can do this. Um, Logitech. Right. If you look at this, you can see clearly. Okay.
Guys, everyone says I need.
Here it is. Okay.
I only ask Sean because when we've had other marketing guys, everyone says I need 6 months. I need to do testing, and we'll see if it works. Already, you've been way better than everybody we've worked with. I mean, Jack funded 2 deals. I mean, clearly you're very good at what you do. I'm just curious if we're waiting for something else to happen, or we're just letting the process.
Okay. So this was a client that we were working with where within like 7 days of his campaigns going live, he was already funding deals like $100,000 here, $50,000 there, $20,000 there. So he was already funding deals, and but the industry has changed now, and you cannot go generic. You need to go niche. So we have done that also with different clients. So we can show you how to do that. If you want to work with us, then you can click here to lendnet.io. I'm gonna have to fix that issue with the website, but lendnet.io is the website, and you can come here and click on free case study over there, or you can click here results, and you can see the results here that we've already delivered. Or you can go to our blog, and there's plenty of free value right there that you can check out. I post a lot of great content over here, and that's it. Yeah. All right, that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope it helps you guys beat big money because that's like the big issue right now. Everyone's getting angry about like backdooring, but they don't understand why that problem is happening. So they need to figure that out and then go from there. Yeah.